Hi, it's Sue. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. I hope the weather was nice for you. Here, Saturday was lovely. Sunday we had a bit of rain, but needed, very much needed. Yes, back again. And today on my desk, I have 3 pieces of cardboard that I've joined together. 2 as a front and back cover, 1 for the spine. So I'm making another little scrappy journal. I spent Saturday cleaning and tidying in my space, and I've got to say, I spent ages up here, but it looks so much tidier now. I've taken a short video that I'll share at the end of this one. Yeah, so I thought, and then of course last night I'd finished everything and I thought, oh, nothing planned. So I came up and worked on a couple of masterboards, and that led me to thinking that I could use those to cover this little book. And I'm thinking of 2 signatures, and I've got some papers ready here to go. And again, I've used bits and pieces that are in my stash. Jelly print papers, music papers, digitals, a couple of digital, matte book, all sorts. Really sorting out some of the paper that's sort of piling up around the place. What else have I done? Nothing really. I set this book together, and what I've done, just so you know, it's the same really as the last one, the take 2 on Rachel's challenge. I've taken 2 pieces that measure 4 inches by, what's that, 6. 4 by 6, and the spine I believe is 1.5 inches. Yeah, it is. It's 1.5 inches, but I allow a bit between the spine and the covers so that it always folds nicely, and hopefully it will lie flat on the desk. So that's what I've done so far, and you can see it's that quite sturdy cardboard. So I wanted to cover around the edges of this. I did consider taping the edge as well, but hopefully I won't need to do that. Okay, so on to the masterboards. I did 2. This is the first one, and I really like how this one turned out. I like the pops of green, and I'm hoping that's going to be big enough, should be, to cover the front of this little journal. Okay, so that's that one, and there's some of my inked papers, and you know, that I've sprayed with gold, so there's a little bit of glitter here and there on this one. Bit of matte book, yeah, all sorts. So that was the first one. The second one, I got a bigger piece of paper. This one was just a piece of drawing paper that was sitting underneath one of my cutting mats, and I thought, okay, well, I'll use that. This one is an even bigger piece. It's like, would that be A3? I'm not sure. This one measures 16 inches by 11.75, so plenty of paper here. And I've added all sorts. Again, pops of green, there's a little bit of purple in there. Same sort of papers. Some of the papers that I'd been sort of inking and drawing on, they were in my scrap pile. Just using everything. Okay, so back to this. Now I'm hoping this card will bend nicely because it is quite thick. Now I've got the now I've got it all collaged. So first job is just to pull it up around that corner, around the end of the book. and bend it. Let's try this one. Go. I did think about coating it with some sort of protective coating, but I thought if I'm going to do that, I might wait until I know that it's fixed to my book. I'll just make sure that that's going to be able to close. Yeah, not bad. So now, same top and bottom. Take it up. Okay, slip that out and let's do a bit of trimming. Did you do anything nice this weekend? I know last weekend was a bank holiday, was it Whitsun in the UK? So you'll all be back to normal now. Just want to see. I mean, normally if you were going to collage paper for a book cover, you'd be better off starting with a thinner piece of paper. Encyclopedia or dictionary paper would probably be a good weight. But because this was lying around on my desk and I was having a big clear up, I thought I'd use it. Okay, now what I might do is stand that under a heavy book for a while, just to secure that onto the cover. So, okay, so it's dryish, and I have folded it. I'm not going too crazy at the moment. Over time, I will ease that in a bit more. And unfortunately, a couple of my pieces were right on the spine there, and they are a bit suspect. This one we knew came apart. So all I'm going to do is take a scrap of paper, and I'm just going to fold this round. So I'm going to take this side off. Just have a look at this. Just to cover that area and reinforce it, because unfortunately that paper there was old, very old, from an old book, and it's not the strongest. So I'm thinking we can just wrap that piece round. So that reinforces that corner, and then this piece here, I wondered, this is old paper as well, so possibly not the best idea. Let's have a look. Actually, that would work, and we don't have any of that on here, do we? Let's look at that. You can hear the crows here, they're going off. It's been a bit of rain, they love it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's get rid of all of this. See what I mean about never get rid of your bits. I always go back to these little pockets. So that's done. Now I want to do a hidden spine for this one. It's my spine of choice, if you like. And I've cut a piece of thinner card. You can see that's a lot thinner than the original. And I've cut that to sit like so. And yeah, I will cover that with some of the paper from my other piece, and then I need, say, 4 inches. Yeah, scant 4 inches. So, and the length, oh, that was the important bit. I'm going to go with 5 3/4, I think. Oops. that up. 5 3/4. So that's 5, 10, 11 and a half. Ooh, look at that. I'll get 2 pieces from here. 5 3/4, and I want it a scant 4 inches. 2, 4, which is about there. I could cut this on the cutter, but I'll do it this way. Old habits die hard. And the sun's come out. I'm looking up out of the window and the sky is black as. But we've got sunshine, so I think there'd be a rainbow somewhere. I can't see it. Probably at the front. Right, let's just have a look at that. Yeah, that's perfect. What did I say that measured? Oops. This way. Eleven and a half. Actually, 11 3/4. So, turn the board around. Am I making you dizzy yet? 11 3/4. So half of that is 5 and a half. Is 11 3/4 equals 2, 4, 6. So 11 and a half and 3/8. Do you like the way I calculate? Oh dear. So that's 5 7/8 by my calculation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7/8. Yeah. I think I might cover this with washi. Wishy-washy. It's better. There we go. Put that aside. So that will sit there like that. Okay, now I need to mark the centre, and it's 1 1/2, so that's 3/4 of an inch, and that's 6 inches. So let's go down 3. Okay, that's the centre. Centre point is there. And I can grab a pencil. We want, I've got 2 signatures. So we'll put 1/2 inch in is my first dot, 1 inch is the second, and that will be reasonably evenly spaced. And then what I'll do is, from the bottom, I'll go up 1/2 inch and do the same, 1/2 inch and 1 inch. There's my dots there. This card's quite shiny, so it's slippery. Okay, 1/2 inch and 1 inch. There we go. And that's where I want to punch holes. And I found my awl the other day, so I'm going to use that. I need my book, which is here. I will start in the middle. There we go, and you can see the holes quite clearly on this side, so I don't need to do anything else there. What I do need to do is grab my signatures and quickly work out, make sure everything's the right way around. Bearing in mind that my spine is 4 inches, or my book, I should say, my book is 4 inches. You can see I need to trim some off. Now when you do this, make sure, this is a reminder for me, that your knife is good and sharp, because you're going to go over this several times. And I never mind if it's a little bit raggy on this end. Oops. Be nearly there. That's it. Get rid of those bits. So now that one is ready to go. So we'll open her up and use the clips. And you've seen me do this before, so I don't think I need to go into too much detail. I am going to just double check. Okay, I'm calling that my centre, and 3 inches is there, ½ an inch up is there, and ½ an inch down is about there. Okay. We push that down into the crease of the book, and there's the centre, there's the top, and that's the bottom. Yep. Okay, so I've had a change of heart. I will just put the camera on for adding one signature. Any new subscribers may be new to this junk journaling thingy, and the 3-hole pamphlet stitch is worth knowing if you want to join your signatures. Okay, so I'm using some of this, which I think is candlewick cotton. And what I do is I measure 2.5, 3 times the 6 inches. So there's about 18 inches on here. Okay, and you need a needle with a nice big eye. And if it's reasonably long, that's quite good too. It makes it a bit easier. So we start with pamphlet stitch. We start going in through the centre of your signature, and then because we're doing for this one a 2 signature journal, I always start from the back of my books, so it goes into the centre, the back one, okay, through, pull it through, and I like to just clip that thread under there so that I don't accidentally pull it all the way through. Okay, so we've gone through there. Now what we need to do is go up to the top. Top or bottom doesn't really matter. I generally go to the top, on the spine, and then through onto the journal, the signature. I thought that was going to go straight through there, but not quite. There it is. Okay, so that's gone through the hole that we've produced. Just pull it through and get a bit of tension on there. Okay, so it's quite tight. And then you go down to the bottom, through the signature, into the bottom hole, and make sure it is the back hole. And then you need to go, I'm pulling that quite tight, back up through the centre from the spine side. Okay, and this is where it can get a bit tricky. Yeah, I'm being careful not to split this yarn because it is a cotton. Okay. Okay, and when you pull that up through there, you need to have it so that you've got one thread one side of the centre and the other one on the opposite side. Okay, so we just check the back, that's loose, that's fine. That one is to this, I think. So let's give that a tug. It's better. And then generally what I do is one knot, double check, and then do the second knot. And really you could finish it with a bow there and that would be perfectly fine. I'm going to leave mine. So that's the back signature in. Okay, just go through, press it. Now I've got a thickish piece of card in there, so that's going to take a bit of pressing down, I think. And this piece, you can see I've added some washi down the spine because this is quite thin paper. And there's nothing wrong with adding a bit of strength along the spine. Okay, so that's the first one in. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one and I'll be back. Okay, so two signatures joined. And this is where, when you want to just double check that that spine is going to sit nicely in the centre of the book spine. So your false spine, or if you like your signature spine, has got to sit so that it doesn't impede the fold. And bear in mind with mine, this paper is now quite thick. It's added a fair bit of bulk. So I ended up trimming a tiny slither off both sides, and it really was just a slither, and now that fits perfectly. Okay, so that being the case, it's time to glue this in. All right, so making sure that it's the right way round, and it is. we need to sit this in the centre, and because my second spine is a little less than the book spine, I'm centering it. Close your spine to make sure that it does sit nicely, and it does, and then push it down. Add a little bit of ink along here, because that was the very edge of my masterboard. So we'll just ink that up a bit. While we're at it, we'll do the other one, because I'm bound to forget. And I think I'm just going to use some neutral sari silk to bind mine, to add as a tie. Okay, so I've cut off 2 pieces, and for the front I will centre it, and I want about 3 inches, I guess. Let's just see how close I am to 3 inches. Yeah, there's about 3 inches to there. And what I'm going to do is add some glue across that piece of cardboard, and then add my ribbon. Okay. That's good enough. A bit more down there. And then we'll do the same on the back page. And we'll stick with this glue. Where's my spreader? There it is. Okay, back page. Let's move to the front. There we go. There you go. I'll have to play with this. I don't want to pull it too tight until the glue's dry. So there it is, a little junk journal made from scrappy bits of paper around the place, around the craft room, and a collage cover. Again, just scrappy bits around. Sits reasonably flat to work in. 2 signatures. I'll decide how I want to finish those off. Probably the same as I did on the last one, just punched circles, glued together. I might even have some somewhere. Okay, so what I do is I just punch some small circles from scraps of paper. 1, 2, 3. I need one more. How if I got one more. Go in search of my scrappy paper and punch a couple more. I'll go and find some and do that. Okay, so there you go. Another journal made, and this is ready for a little project coming up. What I want to do now is start making some ephemera. I've got Rachel's Take Two journal to work in, plus another one. I need ephemera. So I think I'm going to spend a bit of time doing that. And then we'll see. This definitely still needs a bit of easing in. It's not too bad. When it's tied, it will be fine. Okay, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again in a couple of days, I guess. Okay, take care. Bye now.